thousands of people have been told to leave their homes in the southern Spanish city of Malaga after more torrential rain caused major problems in the country. It's now a fortnight since flash flooding killed more than 220 people in Valencia. A red weather alert was issued in the Malaga province, and around 3,000 people living along the Guadalhorce River have been evacuated. Schools across the region are closed and train services have been cancelled. Our Europe correspondent Siobhan Robbins joins us now. Siobhan, it's unrelenting at the moment for people in that part of Spain.
Yeah, isn't it just? You can only imagine the terror being felt by people when they see those weather alerts, people who've lived through the first devastating floods. Just to rewind to what was going on. So authorities in Spain issued these weather warnings, particularly focusing on Malaga, Tarragona, Valencia for yesterday and parts of today. And this red warning was saying that some areas could get up to 7 inches of rain, and we saw the flooding begin in Malaga yesterday. So schools were closed, buses were suspended, one of the local hospitals flooded, flash flooding seen around riverbanks and in parts of the city as well. 3,000 people, as you say, were told to evacuate their homes as a preventative measure before the weather even came in. And I think that's what's really important to understand. This weather system from the last few days is the same sort of weather system that caused those devastating floods 2 weeks ago, which killed more than 220 people. And the authorities and the people living in Spain have really been extra cautious this time. People were told not to leave their homes on Wednesday, and images coming out of Malaga in the early morning yesterday, when you'd usually see very busy streets, were totally deserted. So many people really did heed those warnings. Now, the thing for people living in Valencia was, as the afternoon wore on yesterday, an alert there which had been orange was updated to red, and there was real fear in areas below Valencia and around Valencia where we'd seen, I was there 2 weeks ago, where we saw huge areas totally devastated, cars piled up that had been washed away by flash flooding. Many people lost their lives, and others just lost their livelihoods and felt like their futures had gone. So they were on high alert again, and there was a big push to try and clear the sewers in those affected areas like Paiporta, for example, where we saw those streets filled with the cars and mud and people losing their homes en masse. So they were there working to clear them, because even a small amount of rain could have overwhelmed the system. Now, the news at the moment appears to be fairly positive for those areas, because while it is raining, it appears that the worst of the rain hasn't fallen on those most affected areas as it stands. Now, there has been flooding in the Valencia region. In Cullera, for example, the mayor posted pictures of flash flooding, but it doesn't seem to be of the level that we saw 2 weeks ago. The warning has been downgraded a bit, so they're now on orange, and the worst of the weather is expected to finish by tomorrow. But it is another really tense period for people who are still piecing their lives back together after a disaster which was only just a couple of weeks ago.